Okay, this is the second chapter, chapter 2, chemical changes and chemical reactions. So chemical change means, okay, if you take a substance, okay, you are taking a substance A because of some external cause. What happens if this A becomes some new substance B? Okay,
sir.
so A becomes some new substance, it gives a new substance, then this change is called a chemical change. Okay, so a
Okay,
chemical
sir.
change is a process in which we obtain new substances, then it is called a chemical change. So
Yes, sir.
how do we get new substance during a chemical change? Okay, say
Yes,
for
sir.
example, if you take hydrogen plus chlorine, hydrogen plus chlorine, so in this you
Yes,
have
sir.
hydrogen molecule like this. So this is hydrogen molecule with two hydrogens, and this is chlorine molecule with two chlorine atoms. Okay, so here
Yes,
what
sir.
happens, there will be rearrangement of atoms. Okay, here two
Yes.
hydrogens are combined together, so what happens, these two hydrogens will be separated, these two hydrogens will be separated,
Separated.
and these two chlorines also will be separated, and one chlorine will combine with this hydrogen and the other chlorine will
Yes.
combine with this other hydrogen. Okay,
Yes,
so like
sir.
this there'll be rearrangement of atoms, and this rearrangement of atoms leads to the formation of new substances.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this leads to
Yes, sir.
the formation of new substances, and that's how you get HCl. But how many HCl molecules you got? This is one HCl and this is another HCl, so total two HCls you will get.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so this is called a chemical reaction. What is it called?
Yes, sir.
It is called
Chemical
a
reaction.
chemical reaction. So
Reaction.
chemical reaction is nothing but it is a chemical change. It is a chemical
Yes,
change
sir.
in which rearrangement of atoms takes place, and it leads to the formation of new substances. This is the
Yes, sir.
definition of chemical reaction. It may give only one new substance, or sometimes it may give more than one new substance. So let's see the definition again. So chemical reaction is nothing but the rearrangement of atoms which leads to the formation of a new substance or new substances. In a chemical reaction, for
Yes,
example,
sir.
the previous one, H2 plus Cl2 will give you 2 HCl. Okay, so in this, the substance which you are taking, or the starting material, or you can call it as starting material,
Material.
okay, or the
Product.
substance which is taking part in the
Yes,
chemical
sir.
reaction, these two are taking part in the reaction.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so those two will be taking part in the reaction. So then these two substances which are taking part in the reaction, they are called reactants. The final substance which you obtain, okay, the final substance, a new substance, okay, the output of this reaction, the final substance what you get after the completion
Yes.
of this reaction. Okay, so this is formed as a result. Okay, so this is the result
Yes,
of the
sir.
reaction. So after the
Yes,
completion of the
sir.
reaction,
Product.
yes, so after the completion of the reaction, as a result you are getting this substance, and the resultant substance is called product. Okay, in this case you got only one substance, so only one product is there. Sometimes you will get more than one substance as a result. For example,
Yes.
if you take a reaction like this, HCl plus NaOH gives NaCl, that is
Yes.
sodium chloride plus water. So in this case, HCl and NaOH, these two are taking part in the chemical reaction. So these
Yes,
two
sir.
are called reactants,
Reactants.
and the result of the reaction, so as a result you are getting these two substances, so these
Yes,
two
sir.
are called products.
Products.
So generally what happens, a chemical
Reaction.
reaction is associated with some indications. Okay, so what are these indications? These indications will tell us the reaction is going on. See, for example, if you add a zinc metal to dilute HCl, in this if you take a small piece of zinc and to this if you add dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4, any acid, so then what do you observe here? You observe some colorless gas is released. Okay, so in this case the release of gas indicates, the release of gas indicates there is a reaction taking place. One of the indications is evolution of gas, evolution of a gas. Okay, so in this case you are getting a colorless gas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in this case you are getting a colorless gas. In case
Yes.
if you take lead nitrate here,
Yes, sir.
if you take lead nitrate here and heat it,
Yes,
heat
sir.
it, so lead nitrate PbNO3 whole twice, and you are heating this, then you will see some fumes over here, fumes
Yes,
with
sir.
reddish brown color. What is the color of the fumes? Reddish
brown.
brown fumes.
Brown.
So you will get a gas which may be a colored gas or which may be a colorless
Not.
gas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, understood. So in this
Yes,
case,
sir.
since you are taking lead nitrate, you will get PbO plus NO2 plus O2. Okay, to balance the equation 2, 2 and 4. Okay, so some gas
Yes.
will be released as an indication. Next one, if you take copper carbonate in a test tube, copper carbonate
CuCO3.
CuCO3, and if you heat this, if you heat this on a flame, what happens, this green color, this green color will change to black color. So what does it indicate? It indicates some reaction is taking place, some reaction has taken place, or the reaction is in progress. Okay, and what is this black color substance formed here? If you see this reaction, copper carbonate, on heating it gives copper oxide plus carbon dioxide. So this copper oxide which is formed here, that is a black color substance, that is a black
So
color.
changing color.
Yes, so here what do you
So
see? Change in color.
color.
Okay, so here the second indication may be change
Changing
in
color.
color. Okay, if there is a reaction taking place, it may show you a change in the color. I'm taking lead nitrate in the test tube this time. Okay, what is the color of lead nitrate here? The lead nitrate is a solid and it is a white color substance.
Yes, sir.
It is a white color substance. And if you heat this, if you heat this, so after some time what happens, the color of this lead nitrate changes to yellow color.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this
Yes, sir.
white yellow color substance will stick to the surface of the test tube. Okay, or
Yes,
there will be
sir.
color change. What is the color change here? So first it
White
was
to yellow.
yes, it
White to
was
yellow.
white. And what are the products
It
formed
changed
here?
to P
Lead oxide, nitrogen
PbO
dioxide,
plus NO2
oxygen.
plus
To
2.
balance the equation, 2, 2 and 4. And what happened? This lead oxide has become yellow color now. Okay, so you will get an yellow solid. Yellow solid. So the white color has
Solid.
become yellow color. So there is a color change. So if you take a substance like calcium oxide, and to this if you add water, okay, calcium oxide is a white color substance. You are taking this calcium oxide in this, and to this you are adding water.
Water.
So when you add water to this, what happens? White liquid, it becomes white. What you see here is when you touch this test tube, so you will feel the test tube is warm. Okay, that means in this reaction heat energy is released. In this reaction heat
Heat
is
energy.
released. Okay, so that may be the one of the indication. That is third one. Okay, so in this case what you get as a product, you will get calcium hydroxide as a product. The chemical reaction may be associated with release of heat energy. One, so for example, if you take a substance like AgNO3 plus NaCl, so these are the products we get. AgCl plus NaNO3, silver chloride, right? Now
Yes, sir.
this AgCl is a precipitate, means it is not soluble in water, and this will be a white precipitate. In some reactions it will give us a colored precipitate. It will give us a colored precipitate as
Colored
an
precipitate.
indication. Sometimes the reaction requires some external energy to be supplied. Okay, so remember that. For example, I already told you in the beginning, if you take a substance A, this for this A to become a new substance B, it requires some energy to be supplied. Okay, when you
Yes,
give
sir.
some energy to this A, so then the reaction takes place or the chemical change takes place, then this A becomes a new substance B. Then how can we give this energy to this substance A, or how can we supply this energy to this substance A? We can supply energy in many ways. Okay, so we can supply energy to the substance in the form of heat. If you heat the substance, you can supply the energy, or in the form of electricity.
Yes, sir.
Third one is in the form of
Sunlight.
light.
Light.
Fourth
Yes,
one
sir.
is
Sunlight. AgCl sunlight.
yes, very good. And fourth one is in the form of sound. Sound is also a form of energy, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So even when you give energy in the form of sound, there are some substances which will undergo
Chemical
reaction,
change.
chemical change. So if you take copper carbonate, so this requires heat energy. Triangle. This triangle indicates heating is required. So it gives copper oxide plus carbon dioxide. Lead nitrate on heating also gives lead oxide plus NO2 plus O2. Okay, to balance the equation 2, 2 and 4 here. Okay, and if you take water, okay, so when you pass electricity through water, it will decompose to give hydrogen and oxygen
H2
gas.
plus.
If you take a compound like C2H2, this is called ethine. Okay, so when you supply energy in the form of sound, it will also decompose to give carbon and hydrogen. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and some
C.
reactions like some compounds like AgCl, silver chloride. So when light falls on this substance, silver and chlorine, it is also a decomposition reaction. Okay, so the energy can be supplied in any one of these forms for the reaction to take place. Okay, it can be in the form of heat, it can be in the form of electricity, it can be in the form of
Can
sound,
be
or it can be in
sound.
the form of light.